Hello and welcome to our second video where we're going to go through our rib angle. So we want to check what our rib angle is so that we can understand how we need to engage our core muscles according to our rib angle. So this is really cool because you might have a narrow rib cage, you might have a wide rib cage, or you might have 90-90. And according to which one you have will showcase maybe like a weakness or a dominance in a particular muscle, or it might show a weakness or a dominance in a certain muscle, and how we can then engage our tummy according to that. So what I want you to do is see how I can place my hands under my ribs here. What we want to do is find a texture or an eyeliner or a lipstick, and you want to find the edge of your rib cage, like so. So you want to keep it neutral. You don't want to be inhaling and sucking it all in to then draw. So find the edge, and then you're just going to draw a line. So from the top part, you're going to draw a line all the way down, and then you're going to have a look and see, is it a narrow rib cage? Is it a wide rib cage, or is it 90-90? And if you're not sure, you can post a photo inside of the members forum and I can check it out for you. And then based on that, we're going to come onto our backs, and I'm going to show you how to check again in a crunch position what your rib cage wants to do, and then how we can then engage according to that. All right, so once you've done that, pause the video, take a look. Is it wide, narrow, or 90-90? And if you're still not sure, you can post a picture, or post a picture anyways, just so I can have a look. And then based on that, I'll also maybe be able to keep an eye on you with your journey and what exercises you've been doing. All right, so we're coming onto our back and sides. All right, so the next thing that we're doing is I'm just checking my notes to make sure I'm going in the right order. Yep. Okay, so feet flat on the floor. Now this one is a rib cage check in a crunch. Now the reason that we're going to check this is we want to see what happens, because we've just figured out what our rib angle is. So we want to see if the ribs come together, so if they knit together when we curl up, or if they feel like they widen when we curl up. And then depending on what's going on, we're going to do the opposite. Okay, so bring one hand behind your head, support your head, elbows where you can see them. All right, take an inhale, so a 360 inhale. And then exhale, picking up your blueberry. Come up. All right, so if you felt what went on? Did your rib cage come together as you lifted your head up off the floor? Or did your rib cage widen as you lifted up? Okay, if you weren't sure, put your hands across your rib cage and you want to have a feel again. So inhale 360, exhale to come up. Okay, so what did you notice this time? Did you feel like your rib cage pushes into your hands? Do you feel like your rib cage narrows more like a corset as you come up? Okay, so for me, I have a narrow rib cage, and so when I come up, my rib cage wants to come together. And so because my rib cage wants to come together, it means that I have a little bit more doming and pooching happen in my lower tummy, okay, which means I need to actually focus more on recruiting my TA, so my lower abs, and less on recruiting my external obliques, which are the muscles that pull the rib cage close together. All right, so I need to focus on doing the opposite. So if my rib cage naturally comes in when I curl up, I need to see if I can, when I do my 360 inhale, keep it that way and engage from my mid-low as I come up, and see if I can keep my rib cage wide then when I lift my chest up, okay? And if you're doing the opposite, so if you are curling up and your rib cage widens, then what you want to do is we want to corset the rib cage together as we come up. So the way that would feel is if you put your hands, like cross your hands over and put them on your rib cage, you want to do a 360 inhale. On the exhale, you want to pick up your blueberry, exhale out all the air, pull the rib cage together, or like feel like the rib cage is drawing together as you lift up through the chest. So you want to feel literally your entire waist is corseting together on the lift. So that is for people who have a wide rib cage. All right. So if you felt like your ribs wanted to go more out wide when you curled up, that one was for you. If your rib cage comes closer together when you curl up, then we want to keep it wide and engage more of the mid-lower tummy and flatten everything out more on our lift. All right. So I'm going to teach you more about this in the coming up videos. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, that is absolutely normal and okay. We're going to get through it together. All right, so the last thing is just to find our TAs. So put your fingers like so on the inside of your hip bones. Okay, and as we take an inhale, so inhale, release the pelvic floor, releasing your blueberry. And then as you exhale, I want you to pick up your blueberry and exhale out all the air. And can you feel any bumps pop up underneath your fingers? So you might have to press firm between the hip bones. But on the exhale, when you pick up your blueberry and exhale out all the air, you should feel some bumps pop up underneath your fingers, and those are your transverse muscles. Okay, so those muscles should pop up when we are doing some core work. So what we could do is, let's take a 360 inhale. So just relax for a second. Take an inhale. And then exhale out all the air, picking up the blueberry, and then lifting the chest up off the floor. And how does that feel? Does that feel different? Do you feel it in a different point? Do you feel one side show up more than the other? Do you feel like your rib cage didn't do what you thought it was going to do? Did your rib cage do the opposite of what it's been doing? And come back down. Okay, so I want you to play around with that today. Get to know what your rib angle is, and then what you want, how we want to do the opposite of what we're doing. Okay, and then on the next video, I'm going to show you how to stay engaged while breathing. So breathing under a brace, which is what we need to learn when we're doing any sort of core work, or when we're going to be doing some squats or any sort of resistance training. It's really important to learn how to breathe under a brace, and we'll do that in the next video.